Chair Mohammad Najib Harun Saab, showing everyone way forward. May I take pleasure to invite to introduce our keynote speaker of this morning, Engineer Professor Janusz Kozinski, who is a leading figure in engineering education, currently serving as a dean at Lakehead University Faculty of Engineering and previously at York University Lesonet School of Engineering. He focuses on promoting gender balance and innovation in his field and advocates for sustainable energy and environmental sustainability. His efforts were recognized by the gold medal at 2022 Ontario Professional Engineers Award. So I take pleasure to invite Engineer Professor Dr. Janusz Kozinski to start his keynote.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Honorable Minister and Chairman, Mr. Chair of the conference, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for your kind invitation, and thank you for truly extraordinary hospitality here. Look, you have a wonderful country, and you have great people. And what's really, thank you. And what's really important is to provide young people in Pakistan with the opportunities that perhaps they don't have as yet. And engineering is one of those engines that potentially may provide such opportunities. Now, when my slides are being loaded, then I have to acknowledge
Set up there for the laptop and the screen, but if you want to use, yes, okay, that is more, laptop is there, yeah.
Sorry about it. Oh, this is much more pronounced. Now, Mr. Chairman, I should really thank you for your terrific presentation and so passionate. I mean, you've just described potential future trajectory for both engineering education and engineering profession in the country. So if you allow me, I will present slightly different perspective, but I can tell you that it will be quite aligned with your concept of a pyramid. I like that concept very much. Now, we've got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Live streaming.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The next slide. Slide. Next slide. Going to next slide. Next. Okay. No. Good.
Yes, sir. Once again, thank you for sharing your vision with all of us. I mean, the truth is that we, as engineers, we do create everything that is not naturally created. So if you look around here, it's almost everything had been designed or manufactured by us, well, except ourselves, human beings. That means that we have a tremendous responsibility with regards to the society that we serve. And that means that education that we have to provide is also fundamental for us. Excuse me? Can we? Right. So it's very important to frame a discussion about engineering education, considering what are a variety of forces that change or affect what we do as engineers. Now, it is truly important to understand the expectations of students and parents, and they are escalating, and we have to live up to those expectations. Very important to understand the changing requirements by employers. It's absolutely critical to see the shifting in the society that is occurring. And it's very important to also recognize the role of the government in regulating the profession. Now, can we move? Yes, the other element that is critical for what we do is to make certain that our education is engineering education is going to recognize the truly the mega trends that are happening, that includes, of course, artificial intelligence. It includes big data, circular economy, and the Internet of Things. And it's fundamental as well to make certain that we are going to hone certain skills in our graduates and engineers that will take the society to the next level. That includes cognitive flexibility and creativity and emotional intelligence, the same way at the same level as we try to do it. Now, so if we look at what are the key issues in engineering and science and technology, there are three of them. Well, the first one, it is related to learning. And if we look at it, that there is a learning continuum that is very important for us. Now, learning continuum means that we have to design programs that will be delivered on campus, online, on demand, just in time, and just in case. So flexibility of the education is absolutely critical because that is required by our students. The next element is to create meaningful partnerships, and those are partnerships between universities and industry. Government is also a meaningful partner in there as well as the international partnerships. And the third one is to focus on research frontiers that are relevant to engineering. And the research frontiers that focus on transdisciplinarity. Transdisciplinarity means that we have to be prepared to take our research and development outside the campus and interact with industry and implement that with industry as well. Now, so if we look at the necessity of honing skills, they are very different. They are currently already very different than those that we were experiencing when we were studying. And if we look at the next slide, so if you look here, it's more or less what perhaps some of us or our parents had experienced, which is that once they got a job, they stay in that job for life. They improved, but it was very little change. Most of us are somewhere here that we had ups and downs, but we also, those of us who started in academia, we may have changed different fields, but we stayed in academia as well. Now, our students are going to have a very different career. that they will be having a variety of experiences and education that we have to provide them. It has to be the same as they are. Diversity, creativity, changing our education and changing our how they learn. It's going to be very, very important. Now, so what we need to do, uh, is to make sure that we're going to educate people that create in a collaborative way, people that consider consequences of what they do, and people that are able to communicate that complexity in a lucid way. So this is exactly what the chairman had mentioned, Majid Harun, what you mentioned, which is making certain that there are soft skills that are already there. Now, so in order to achieve that, we have to make sure that we're going to place employability of our students at the core of what we do. Now, there's a big difference between getting a job at the time of graduation and being employable in a variety of jobs over one's career. So getting a certain skills in a particular discipline, electrical, chemical, mechanical, and so on, it's not good enough anymore. It's all about getting a proper mindset. And that mindset we will be able to achieve only if we are prepared to interact in a much more meaningful and closer way with colleagues from humanities and social sciences, because what we have to do is provide engineers with moral and cultural and social compass. And that compass we will be able to achieve only if we are integrated in a better way with humanities and social sciences. Now, so if we look at how the 21st century engineer could be characterized, I'd say that this would be a creative entrepreneur with a social conscience. So you will see that creativity, entrepreneurship, social consciousness, those are the elements that will prevail in the successful future engineer. I wish that this is something that we would be able to implement here in Pakistan as well. So we have to find a way to how to design our education the way that it is at those frontiers of engineering education in order for those young people to provide them with new form of opportunities. Now, yeah, so if we look at what's really important, I think, I believe actually that the future will be less about answering questions and more so about questioning answers. You see, there's a very big difference between one another because we don't want to educate students only just to solve a particular set of problems. We want them to make sure that they will step back far and look at the horizon and look at the variety of perspectives and then question what they have in front of them and find new ingenious answers to the problems that we have in front of us. So the fundamental questions are, of course, what we teach, how we teach, and who we teach. And that is important to understand that if we are going to do so in a way that that it's going to be beneficial to young people that we educate, it's important that we are going to teach outside those traditional books that were written 10, 15, 20 more years ago, that our students are going to learn outside the traditional classroom. That means that we're going to provide them with opportunities to spend time at industry and learn with their hands, not only with their heads. And it's important to recognize that research at the undergraduate level is also important because that is a self-exploration opportunity as well. So those are the fundamental questions. And perhaps let's move to the next slide because I'm mindful of my time as well. Right, so this is how I would look at how we can potentially innovate engineering. So I see it as the combination of strong technological background. Very important element is to inject a business component, and it's important to recognize the human values. If we combine these three, then there is a sweet spot for engineering innovation. Let me give you an example what we've recently created in Canada, and I spoke with some of you, and it seems that it may resonate with you as well. We created a new program. We call it a Renaissance Engineering, when engineering is combined with law and with business. So the students, they are being educated from year one in those three areas. When they finish with Bachelor of Engineering degree, they can seamlessly transfer to a business school and get MBA quickly in just half a year. And they can transfer to a law school and get JD law degree in about a year and 2 months or so. Regardless, if they do so, all of the engineering students, they are going to have this entrepreneurial business acumen from the outset. It provides them with tremendous opportunities later on. The other concept that is also, it looks like that it's also prevailing in Pakistan, is to give students an opportunity to design their own journeys. That is gaining a variety of micro-credentials and then combining them over time into a degree that is a very good opportunity for them to find a better way to their education. I think that the time that we are getting students and spending on campus 3 years or 4 years, it's likely going to belong to the past. We have to find a way that our education is much more flexible. And this micro-credentials, they offer that opportunity as well. Let's move on. Yeah, so look, what I wanted to do very, very quickly is to offer something, what I call a roadmap for PEC. Now, please feel free to ignore what I'm suggesting, because this is, after all, a perspective from somebody from outside. So if we say that the focus of PEC is to bolster academics and foster engagement, it's absolutely critical in the first phase to understand, so what are those global perspectives that are going to affect Pakistan and how higher education may respond to it. And then focus on analyzing what are the needs of the constituents of PEC. So of course, universities, it's one of the constituents. Students, perhaps the most important element of that puzzle, and employers, industry, it's a meaningful partner as well. So if we look at the PEC and in the orbit of the PEC, it's important to understand the role of the government. I mean, that is a critical role, and the regional economic establishment, and role of partnerships with other universities and international partnerships as well. If so be, there will be an opportunity to develop develop solutions. And as always in life, we can have we have to start with thinking big, but starting with doing things small, one step at a time, something that we will be able to prove to ourselves and our partners that this is something that is doable. So that is my vision of what potentially PEC may consider for the future. So let me finish with one last slide. And it's a good proverb that illustrates the leitmotif of what I wanted to say. And the proverb says that if you want to go fast, then travel alone. But if you want to go far in life, travel together. So that everything in life is about creating meaningful partnerships in order to travel together. That means academia and industry and government and parents, and most importantly, our people, young people that you have in such an abundance, and their desire is to learn as much as they can about the world, about themselves, and importantly, about the field that we love, which is engineering. Thank you so very much for your kind attention. I'll be delighted to continue this dialogue outside the dais. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. It was indeed a professorial talk also, and you had to juggle through the multimedia and all that also, but that's what we are professors used to it. So we wanted to give you that same drill over here. I'm sorry about that. Going further, I'll take no other time but to invite our worthy chief guest and Federal Minister of Science and Technology. Recently taken over this portfolio, has remained the Minister of IT as well. Honorable